Hi there, my name is Ariel Ceylan. I'm the author of The Tales of Withith, The Assignment, and The Tales of Withith, A Power of a Vision. This is my second video that I'm posting on YouTube, and what I want to talk about is the antagonist opposite the protagonist, or the good guy. And pretty much what I want to do with these videos, these writing videos, because I talk about writing and write about writing because writing is what I do. So what I want to do is to come up with a list of ideas and things that I find will definitely make your writing better as a writer or an author. And what I want to do is talk about these questions/ideals. Sorry, I'm reading from a notebook because I don't just talk. I need like a plan because that's just the way I function. Okay, so the first question/idea to talk about is to identify the protagonist. So it's pretty much basic character development, like trivia, favorite food, likes, dislikes, and everything else that goes into trivia, like 20 questions, like whatever you want to ask a friend in 20 questions is what you want to ask your protagonist in 20 questions. Basic character development. Like I said in my antagonist video before, I have a raise the stakes section, which is pretty much a response to the cumulative information you have about your protagonist, and you pretty much just put all that together and say, I wonder what would happen if X occurs. You don't need to solve Y as of yet. You'll solve Y when that bridge gets crossed in your story. But just kind of put that out there as like a question within the development of your character. What possibly could happen to the protagonist that could change everything, or something very crucial to who the protagonist is or thinks who he or she is, because self-perception is a huge part in just about anybody. 2 is, why is the protagonist doing good? Why is Superman, why is Batman, why is Spider-Man bothering with saving people's lives? What are the underlying motives? The more motives you have, the stronger, most likely, your reasoning for your protagonist for doing good will be. So I try to keep it within like 2 to 5 kind of thing. Just, make sure that they're reasonable and not like frivolous. Number 3, how much drive does your protagonist have to do good? Meaning, how dedicated is your protagonist to what he or she is doing? Is your protagonist a good guy 24/7? Or is your protagonist decide that she or he wants to be good? Like right now, I feel like being like a good person. It's like, but yesterday, I was bad, I don't care about that. Like how interested is your protagonist in being good? Number 4, fourth ideal I want to talk about, kind of inquiry as to about what your character might want to, what you might want to consider your protagonist might be about, is why bother fighting the protagonist? That's slightly different from why do good. Why doing good is more like in general sense, and why fight the antagonist is specifically why continue to do or attempt to do good in regards to the antagonist. It's more like take your general idea, which is why do good, and bring it in the context of your antagonist. And I find that when you do that, the reasoning might change a little. And when that reasoning changes, even if it's something that's slight, I find that would make your story all that more compelling and more believable, and your readers will have more of a solidarity towards your protagonist. And the 5th thing I want to think about is, can your antagonist figure out your antagonist's darkness? Meaning that everyone has a dark side. Everyone has a light side. So I pose to you is, what if your antagonist can find your protagonist's inner evils? Then that would raise the question, how good is your antagonist at manipulating your protagonist good? How much does your protagonist know about herself or himself to to recognize versus recognize? To first recognize, 2, figure out a way to stop it, 3, to actually follow through with it, and 4, I haven't figured out 4 yet. Maybe you'll figure out what 4 is. But kind of like, there's so much more to the plot that goes on other than just the story. The story is run by the characters. And the protagonist has so much potential to be one of the most interesting characters. And I like to call them as leads, because I find the protagonist and the antagonist to be equally important. So, it's like, if the antagonist has a weakness, the protagonist has to have one. It's like, if there's a power struggle, like one person's like mad on top of the other one, then it's almost going to seem pointless as to have a kind of struggle like that. But if they're even in ability and thought processes and just about anything you can think about, like if they're about equal as human beings, then I find that not only will your viewers find that your characters are more interesting to read about, but you'll find that you'll have more to write about as an author, which is always something that we need. Trust me. We do. As much as we think we have good ideas and, plot line, you need to fill the space with something. So my focus as an author is to get other writers to think about changing their characters from being characters and developing them into people. Because once they're people, then your readers will be able to relate to them. And the more you relate to them, the more you can communicate with them. Because isn't that the point of art? The point of art is to communicate, and what we're doing is an art. So this is kind of the end of my preachy second video. Thanks for watching. My name's Ariel Ceylan. I'm the author of The Power of a Vision and The Assignment. My name is spelled Ariel space Ceylan, Ariel Ceylan. Yeah, I know, it's not spelled the way it sounds. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.